Hey everybody, we are going to look at Wednesday's card on May 31st for Delaware Park. Delaware Park, we've got 8 races on the card, some on the turf. It looks like the weather's going to be pretty good. My name's Dave. I created Thorostat, subscribe to this channel, but we give out a top 3 selections, play them however you like. My goal is to just be able to help you handicap more effectively and efficiently. Most people don't have hours to go through PPs and replays, so my goal is to make it a little bit more effective to find long shots, find some value, especially on the turf. Um, if anyone's playing along, I recommend playing the top selection to win in place, as well as uh, top 3 is what I give out, will be exacta and trifecta boxes. But I also will give out some pick fours, so look for a pick four preview, and we'll just dive right in here to Delaware Park on Wednesday, race 1. Race 1 here is a maiden claiming 6 furlongs on the main track. It's pretty formful in my eyes. Our top 3 selections are going to be 6, 2, 3 as our top 3. The 6 is my top selection, you know. The reason I selected this as the top selection is the early speed that this horse has is well above any class and any pace scenario figures. Second off of a layoff, ran at Pimlico, came third, running back, and has a bullet workout since the last time it ran, which was about 2 weeks ago now. So all of that front end speed will definitely take it here at Delaware Park in the opener on Wednesday. And then underneath we've got some little bit more late speed, who's going to be more than likely the post time favorite. We'll see. It's the morning line favorite. She made me blush. And then the 3 to add some value here. I think we'll hold on and beat the rest of the field. It's got the highest mid pace that's higher than some of the late runners here. So our top 3 selections in race 1, the opener, top selection, the 6, you know, the 2, she made me blush, and the 3, Ariana Valentina, 6, 2, and 3 in the opener, Delaware Park on Wednesday. Race 2 here at Delaware Park on Wednesday is also on the main track, and with this race, it's pretty formful as well. A lot of these races seem to me just to run, they're going to run how they look on paper. The early speed here at Delaware Park is going to be the 5, Victorian Riviera. The 5 is going to be our top selection. Morning line is 3-1, and Dortmund has thrown some pretty good runners here. I believe this is a Maryland bred. Let me just jump down. Yeah, Maryland bred out of a Victory Gallop mare, and won 2 starts back at Charlestown. But with the breeding and the pedigree and Danny Centeno aboard, the Danny Centeno is 19% at the distance and surface, 51% in the money. Going to be really tough to beat. Dortmund has a 35% ROI, 48% in the money. So this 5 at 3-1 is the best value by far in this field. Victorian Riviera is our top selection. The top 3 will be rounded up by the 6 and 2. The 6 has all the late speed. 3 Sport Coats is the morning line favorite, and then the 2 Shelly's Song, I believe, will wrap out the top 3 here for us at Delaware Park on Wednesday. In the 2 Shelly's Song, coming back off of a layoff for Andrew Simoff, and Simoff off of a long layoff of a month or 2 is 18%. So kind of hard to not have him to round out the top 3. Our top 3 selections, Delaware Park on Wednesday, race 2, 5, 6, and 2. Delaware Park, race 3, mile and a 16th on the turf, maiden claiming on Wednesday. It's a 14-horse field that'll scratch down the 12 at least, I believe. Huge field on the turf. The If the 13 draws in, the 3, 12, and 13 will be that front end speed. I don't think any of this front end speed in this maiden claiming race is going to be able to hold on. A lot of late runners are going to be at Delaware Park on the turf. Our top selection is going to be pretty formful for us in the first two selections. The top selection, though, is going to be all the late speed here. Tucker Road, morning line 8-1, I believe will run down the rest of this field. The 11 will become running late as well, and I really don't like any morning line favorites or early favorites in the top three in this race. 11 will run late, and the one that's going to be some value here is going to be the 7 Sigmund. It is a colt. Sorry, I believe it's a gelding. Actually, yep, 3-year-old gelding, Lasix on for Michael Gorham, getting Danny Centeno, and coming off of a layoff since December. Had a decent workout early part of the month, 7 of 12, not too bad. But this also is a Dortmund sired 3-year-old gelding. And Dortmund on the turf, 14% winners, 140% ROI, and 48%. Only because of the first off of a layoff, it's hard to pick this horse on top. So I think the 4 and the 11 are going to be running late in this race here at Delaware Park. Kobe's back, Maryland bred, also coming off of a layoff. Ran a bullet, though, on the 12th from the gate, 1 and 39 at Delaware Park for Carlos Sepulveda, sorry. Carol Centeno, 424% as a jock here, and will win on this 8-1 long shot on the turf. Our top 3 selections, though, on Wednesday, race 4 on the turf, 4, 11, and 7. Delaware Park, race 4. We're looking at a 1.70 mile claiming event on the main track. Pretty formful in my eyes. The top selection for us is going to be Alvi the 5. It's just got the total pure late, middle, and early speed here in this race at 6-5. It's going to be super, super tough to beat, and even trying to beat this horse. So I think it runs pretty formful. It looks like the 6 kind of closes in a bit with these speed figures are a little off just because of how Delaware's meets early, and some of these horses either haven't run in a while or are shipping in from other tracks whose speed figures don't really correlate quite as well. So we're going to go with the 5. Alvi is our top selection. Morning line 6-5, and then underneath, I think the 1 and 2 in some way, shape, or form are going to form out the final top 3. Our second selection here, because the 2 I think will press the pace a bit and can hang on, is this Espresso Lungo and the 1 Mission Key. Our top 3 here, Delaware race 4, 5, 2, and 1, with our top selection being the 5, Alvi. Delaware Park, race 5. It's claiming race, 5 furlongs on the turf on Wednesday. It should scratch down to a field of 8. The 7 should scratch out as a main track only, but it's kind of formful. I don't really like the 8. It looks like it'll press the middle and run late. But in how this race is run, a lot of these horses are coming off a very long layoff, or even just a month layoff, and most haven't run on the turf. But just because of how the form is here at Delaware Park, I think it's going to be the 2 running late, Shanghai Superfly out of Shanghai Bobby, and also coming off of a layoff. And the 9 and 3, I think if they can get out in front enough, will hang on for a piece of it. The 2 is going to be the morning line favorite and going to be the, I believe, odds on or even co-favorite with the 1. I believe the 1's very beatable. Doesn't really have much late speed, so early speed I think will factor here. 9 Refund, Wriggler, and the 3 is long shots. Truly Ambitious are going to wrap out my top 3 just for the value underneath. I don't. They've got tons of early speed. The pedigrees, one's out of Cowtown Cat. The other has a little bit of a turf pedigree on the top side, but I really just want to lean into the speed figures here because there's really is. Other than a handful of these horses, I don't really see much pace scenario set up. So the 2 who will be the odds-on favorite come post time. Shanghai Superfly will be our top selection. The 9 as a value, Refund Wriggler, and the 3 Truly Ambitious underneath. Top 3 in race 5 Delaware Park on Wednesday, 2, 9, and 3. Delaware Park, race 6, starter allowance, a mile and 70 yards on Wednesday, and it's a 7-horse field. The 1 has all of the late speed here. It hasn't run at the distance and hasn't run, looks like a route race, but I think with the late speed and how it's able to close, just kind of misses short. Actually, it has run a route race. I lied. It hasn't run a distance, which is a mile and 70 yards. I think the class drop a bit down to Delaware and at the surface. Greg Compton, 24% on the distance and surface. Carol Sedeno's 18% the last 10 days here at Delaware Park. So I think with those factors, all in all, our top selection is going to be the 1 with the late speed here, whose morning line 7 to 5. Which is Conspiracy Fact. The 6 and 3 will hold on for a piece of it. They'll go out in the front. Has a lot more better pace figures, speed figures than the rest of the field. The 6, What Say You, to round out the top 3, and Steady John as well as our top 3. Our top selection, though, is the morning line favorite. The 1, Conspiracy Fact. 6, What Say You. 3, Steady John. Once again, race 6 at Delaware Park on Wednesday, 1, 6, and 3. Delaware Park, race 7, mile and a 16th allowance race on the turf here on Wednesday. It is a 12-horse field. Some classy horses in this allowance event on the turf. I believe the 4 and 12 are going to go out and press each other on the front end. Ocean City and Bassiano are going to be pressing that early front end speed together. And with that, I do think that it sets up well for the late pace here on the turf. I just think they're going to burn each other out on the front end. And with that said, the 2 Caronade is going to be our top selection just because of that pure. If they can stay clear in that Delaware turn and be able to make a move and not get pressed up against the rail, and try to make an inside move, this horse should run down the field with all of this late speed that it has. And coming into this race, we've got the 2 here at Delaware, who's out of Lord Nelson, 3rd off of a layoff, won 2 races back, and didn't really do much when it went up to the allowance optional class at Tampa. I think against this field, with just the pure speed on the front end, should help class this horse up a bit. Not just to mention, out of 5 starts, the horse has come on the turf in the money 2 of 5 times and won once, 2 starts back. So 20% on the turf here. So I feel that this 2 should be able to close into it. 8 to 1 morning line. I'm going to take 4 horses just in case there is a scratch on the turf tomorrow. To round out our top 4, we've got the 8, 12, and 2, or 8, 12, and 10 here at Delaware. Looks like my Wi-Fi is running a little slow. Turn off some devices. Here we go. The 12 is going to run on the front end, and I think we'll hold on for a piece. The 8 I have as our second selection. Bold Licorice also has some speed here. We'll jump into the PPs. The 12 is the front end speed that I think we'll hold on underneath. With the 8, though, I'll kind of break down, and then we'll go back to our top selection sheet in race 7 here at Delaware Park on Wednesday. The 8 and why it's in our ticket as well. The Dam, 56% in the money out of this Dam, Cocoa Beach. Chilean bred, and 9% positive ROI. Coming off of a long layoff, but has some additional late speed. I think in this class, coming down from 90,000 non-winners of one at Aqueduct should factor for this horse, Bold Licorice. Getting Victor Carrasco aboard. Victor 70% in, ROI, positive ROI in the last 10 days. Bas, Basa, Basaino, out of bated breath. Arnaud Delacour running here at Delaware. Had a bullet work. I like the 6-1 morning line on this horse. And Jorge Ruiz, 18% on this surface. And bated breath has a positive ROI as a sire. Delacour is 30% with winners last out. So I like this horse in the mix. And then the 10 is going to round out our top 4 selections. Also, just in case there's a scratch, out of Lemon Drop Kid and a Kitten's Joy Dam. Second off of a layoff, going from dirt to turf. Cathal Lynch, 15% on that move, dirt to turf. And with Angel Arroyo is looking at 84% positive ROI. Last 10 days, Arroyo as well is 176% with a positive ROI. So that's going to be our top 4 here in this feature at Delaware Park on Wednesday. The top selection, though, is going to have that closing kick here on the turf at Delaware Park. Our top selection is the 2 Carnade with all the late speed, morning line 8-1. The 8 Bold Licorice, morning line 20-1. The 12 Basaino out of bated breath, and the 10 Grandpa's Kid to round out our top 4 in this feature on the turf. 2, 8, 12, and 10. Delaware Park, race 8 on Wednesday. Claiming event, 6 furlongs on the main track. This is our finale here at Delaware Park on Wednesday. Not much to really dive into. I think it's going to be very, 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 very formful. The 6 has the front end speed in the 6 furlong event. The 5 has the pace pressing ability and the late running kick and the speed figures to boot. We're going to be going with the 5, the morning line favorite. Our fantasy is our top selection here in the finale. The 6 Aphrodita and the 7 Plyara are going to be hanging on for a piece of it. The 6, just because of the early speed, I think will outkick the 7 Plyara. So our top selection here, our fantasy, the 5 is in the feature, or sorry, in the finale at Delaware Park on Wednesday. The 6 Aphrodita and the 7 Plyara. Top 3 in the finale at Delaware Park, race 8, 5, 6, and 7. Thanks again for watching. Follow us on Twitter at Thoroughstat. Follow us and subscribe to our channel at Thoroughstat on YouTube, THOROSTAT. My name's Dave. I'm the creator of Thoroughstat. Follow along for full card selections, pick 4 previews, mostly late pick 4s, some pick 5s if there's a carryover, and then also live streaming coming up for the summer meets. Thanks again. Good luck at Delaware Park on Wednesday, and let's cash some tickets.